What we practice. In Ezra chapter 6, verses 13 to 20, the temple of God was rebuilt, and it was dedicated with the priests and the Levites in their appointed places according to what Moses wrote. I'm going to read verses 19 to 21. It says, "On the 14th day of the first month, the exiles celebrated the Passover. The priests and Levites had purified themselves and were all ceremonially clean. The Levites slaughtered the Passover lamb for all the exiles, for their relatives, the priests, and for themselves. So the Israelites who had returned from the exile ate it, together with all who had separated themselves from the unclean practices of their Gentile neighbors, in order to seek God, the God of Israel." Those verses say that they cleaned up so that they were set apart and could go before God with their sacrifice. I'm going to reread verse 21. "So the Israelites who had returned from the exile ate it, together with all who had separated themselves from the unclean practices of their Gentile neighbors, in order to seek the Lord, the God of Israel." They were not being mean, they were not shaming other people, but they did separate themselves in order to seek God. If we are truly seeking God, we have to separate ourselves from what the rest of the world is doing. I believe that we either do one of two things. Either we seek to please God, or we seek to please ourselves and other people. We will know who is seeking God by what they practice. My encouraging scripture is going to be in Matthew chapter 7, verses 26 to 27. And this is Jesus talking. This is one of those scriptures that you might look at as it's kind of like in your face, but it is what it is. So Matthew chapter 7, verses 26 to 27. It says, "But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash."